Civilization is only skin deep. What we perceive as civilization is a thin mask, concealing the anarchy that threatens to break out at any moment. Under the right circumstances, any first world country could become just like any third world country. Here's an example of the sort of thing that could rip that mask away: the collapse of our electrical grid. Imagine what would happen if suddenly no one in the country had access to safe, reliable electricity. And I mean no one. We have some experience with widespread power outages, but none of them have prepared us for what might happen if the power was off everywhere. Natural disasters might cut power to a region, but other regions carry on and provide aid. Let's think through what an indefinite national power outage would do. Our homes depend on it, whether to heat or to cool, and some couldn't cook without it. Gas pumps won't work. We'll run out of gas quickly, and we'll have to hoof it to get supplies. But what supplies will be available? Trucks don't operate on wishful thinking. If the pumps won't work, the trucks won't run. Period. Store shelves will be empty quickly. Just-in-time logistics guarantees that. It takes electricity to run cell towers and telephones, so your 911 call isn't going to go through. Police cars require gasoline, which won't last for long. The police are not going to come to rescue you from looters and worse. They won't respond to your call, and couldn't if they wanted to, which they won't, as they'll be trying to protect their own families. Citizens would be on their own, and at that moment, you would rudely discover just how thin the membrane of civilization really is. So-called civilization could continue on in such a circumstance by mere inertia, but eventually multiple frictions would bring it to a grinding halt. After a month, the batteries would be dead, the fuel consumed, the store shelves empty, the preppers vindicated. Then you would see what lies behind the mask: a monster. It would be foolish to think that this is beyond the realm of possibility. Any sober assessment of the real facts tells us otherwise. Foreign adversaries could hack the grid, or what if they hit us with some EMPs? But it need not even be something human caused. If Yellowstone blows, or another Carrington event happens again, we'll be in the thick of it. If you haven't heard of the Carrington event, you should look it up right away. These things don't just happen in movies. The assumption that our country will have reliable power forever is a very bad assumption. Forever is a long time. In reality, time always runs out. Why not tomorrow? The real problem is that the people we have in charge are making one reckless decision after another. Civilizations do not arise by accident and are sustained by specific factors that are in place. Yet, as I speak, there are people and organizations steadily pulling away at the very things that keep that mask of civilization on our hideous faces, making it collapse in our lifetime, for one reason or another, increasingly certain. Some catastrophic scenario almost seems inevitable, whether from an electric black swan or some other. In a future video, we can and we will talk more about how such scenarios might unfold, but my real purpose is just to call to your attention how fake civilization really is. Once people are hungry enough, all bets are off. Come to terms with this without delay. Do not pacify yourself by saying it'll never come to that, because history tells us all empires fall in time. Why not in your time? The philosopher king must understand and prepare. You and I must be ready, and while we're at it, grow enough of us so that maybe there will be enough time to boot the morons out of power and establish the rule of the philosopher kings throughout. I wouldn't count on that if I were you. But it is not an either-or situation. It is both and. We can recognize our peril and at the same time try to head it off. In the meantime, we should seek to insulate ourselves from what follows, not if, but when, the mask of civility is ripped away. Be wise, fellow king.